Yes, people, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another stream. Today is the first episode of a brand new show. We're going to make it a weekly show every single week of it's called the EPL Debate Show. We're going to get an array of football fans on, talk all things Premier League, different topics every week, and it's going to be really good. We've got an array of panelists today, two debutants, one that's probably very happy and one that definitely isn't happy after a certain result today, but we'll get into that a bit later. But big up to everyone who's in the chat tonight, and thank you for all coming in. Please do smash a like on the stream and subscribe if you are new. We're less than 50 subs away from 500 now, so if we can get there very soon, that'd be very much appreciated. Before I get into the panel, I want to make it very clear again, because some people still don't seem to get the message. This is a football channel, not just Arsenal. You may see me on TJ's channel now and then, but this is to talk TJ over there. But this is to talk football, not just Arsenal. And if you want to appear on the show and you like this and you want to come on, hit up the Instagram, cmo.sportsyt. Send me a DM with your name and your club, and you're more than welcome to come on. Let's get into the panel. We're going to try and keep it under an hour today because TJ's famous. He's got to go other places. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But we'll try and keep it under an hour today, and should be pretty good. We've got a couple good debate topics to bring up. But so let's get into the debutantes today. Dow, welcome to the channel, man.
Thank you.
American brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for a 2-1 win tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, you're confident.
I'm pretty confident.
I'm nervous. I am nervous tomorrow.
I'm shitting myself on Connor, to be honest. But thanks for having me on the show. Great to see some familiar faces, of course. Beautiful TJ and stressed out Steve-O, but big up. And Charlie, you look great, man, but you support the wrong club. There's pills you can take for that, I heard. You should get to the hospital. They can really get that Spurs pneumonia out of you, bro. But you seem like a good guy. You seem like you know your stuff. You just support a shit club. But big up, Connor. Thanks again for having me on.
And Steve, welcome to the channel, man. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Tried to get you on before. Didn't respond to my message, but you got back to my message now. But thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. How you doing, man? I know you're not doing great.
Yeah, I can't talk. I can't even speak. So yeah, sure. We're doing good. Watching football. So I mean, I'm happy about that. So that's cool.
Yeah, you're always on the football, man. So big up to you, man.
Always look on the bright side of life, Steve.
Exactly, 100%. It's football at the end of the day. It's football. TJ, brother, how you doing, man? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but welcome back. How are you, man?
I'm great. I'm not famous, so stop saying that. Okay, you stop saying that I'm famous, and I'll stop saying that you're too big for my channel and that I need super chats in order to pay your rent. How about that?
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. We'll make an agreement.
All right, deal. But no, I'm great, man. I'm great. Let's go. Weekend full of streams. Let's do it. And hopefully this time when we're talking tomorrow, we're happy campers. So let's keep going.
Fingers crossed. Charlie, welcome back to the channel, man. Spurs fan. And I wanted to get an array of different fans on today. So we've got Newcastle, Arsenal, and Spurs. Charlie, bro, how you doing, man? Welcome back.
Cheers, Connor. Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Always enjoy the streams. I'm good. Apart from a certain game today, which I'm sure we'll get into. I have quite a bit to say, but anyway, apart from that, all good. Happy to be back, and I'm sure it will be a great show as well. So first time on with the other three guys here as well. So
that'd be good, man.
Meet you, bro.
We're a good community, man. We're a good community. Yeah, big up to everyone who's in the chat. AFC always. Luca, big up to you. Scott, DJ Sinclair, AJ, of course, legend. Donna, big up. Plumber Pro, big up as well. And AFC always, like I say, big up to all of you who are in the chat. Let's get into it. And we're sort of going to work our way up the table in these debates. And the first one we'll get into is Luton have had, I'd like to say, two pretty decent games. Four goals scored in both. They did win the cup as well against Everton. I'm going to throw it to Steve first because, did play against his team today. I just want to get his thoughts because you did. I'll take you saw the game, Steve. Can you Newcastle aside, can you see Luton possibly staying up with this type of form that they're on right now?
Yes, I said it before the season started that they'll stay up. Yes. Yeah. I didn't watch every game of theirs in the championship, but I've seen enough from them to see what Rob Edwards is doing. I like his game plan. I like the formation he uses. I like a lot of the players there. And even if they do go down, it's not going to be a case of they'll never come back up because they have a team good enough to get promoted right back up from the championship.
Yep.
I mean, Ross Barkley's been one of the best players in the Premier League this season.
What went wrong for you today, Steve? What went wrong for you in Newcastle?
We played into their hands. We played into their hands.
Yeah, into their hands,
We didn't sub off Dan Burn at halftime. Then bring on Harvey Barnes at halftime. Decided to bring on Callum Wilson. He proceeded to do really a lot of nothing. Yeah, what else went wrong? I mean, Bruno had an average game for me. Not good enough. There was nothing in there that was like, he's controlling the game. We have a you know, it's just it was no control in that game for large stretches of it.
Yeah.
Playing into their hands on the counterattack, they were devastating. I mean, Ogbene is a very good player. He's quick for a guy that tall and strong. Adebayo took his goal supremely well. The header, you know, they just you see that kind of play all the time. You see that play all the time where a guy has a wide open header and just screws the pooch. Far down, great header, and they went on a roll. They went on a roll, man. Yeah, and I knew it was going to be a tricky game, and I've said it from the beginning that they'll survive. They're growing every single game more and more comfortable in the league. And now they are giving teams some problems. And they have done for the whole season, but now they're starting to score. So it's looking pretty optimistic for their side of things. It really is. And I do think they'll get 10 wins. I do think they'll win 10 games from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, well, they got Sheffield United next. So that could be a reason because they were, as we know, absolutely shocking. Charlie, I've heard the same question to you. Do you believe Luton will stay up, or are they your favourites to go down right now? But with this form, it's come out of nowhere. Do you see them staying up? Because if they stay up, that is massive, especially with the Premier League money. So what do you think on that?
Yeah, they're staying up. I've said it from very early on. Out of the promoted teams, Luton are the best by far. And that's also considering they've spent a fraction of the money that Sheffield and Burnley spent. And also, it's not even just that, it's the manager as well. I think Rob Edwards, he showed in the Championship last season, he can get a group of players literally to fight 2-0 for every single game. And I think what we've seen, especially against the big teams, like when Spurs played them, I don't think we should have won that game with the chances they had when we were down to 10 men. Even against you guys, Arsenal, they should have at least taken a point. Same with Man City. So they've shown in all these games that they can compete and that they're capable of competing at this level. So I think for that reason, if you look at the teams around them as well, I think they're going to stay up. I think they're going to do it, especially if you're looking at points deductions with Everton and potentially Forest. I think that kind of helps them even more. So, yeah, man, Luton are going to do it. I'm telling you. I've been saying it since very early on. So
drew a Liverpool 2 at home. They drew a Liverpool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, should have won that as well if it weren't.
Barely lost at Man United away. I mean, that's, you know, they aren't a super team. Everybody thought that they were. So look, they are competitive in every single game. They haven't lost a game by 2 goals since September, I believe.
That's right. Yeah.
So they are in with a shout in every single game. They've scored 16 goals in the last 15 minutes of games, which is the best in the Prem by 7 or 8. So that's something good to have. And now they're starting to score goals early. They're starting to score goals early in the game. So they will go punch for punch with just about everybody. And they're still in the FA Cup, by the way. They are still in the FA Cup. And that, they have Man City at home, but their recent form, you
got a good manager as well. I think they've got a quite decent manager as well.
Yes, he's done a very good job.
And I think they lost their captain as well. They lost their captain.
That's galvanized them, if anything.
They lost their captain. They got him closer. TJ, what do you think? Do you still think the same?
I've never seen a team fight or a team that just got into the Premier League fight like these guys fight. I mean, and people had them finishing 18th, 19th. I had them finishing I had them finishing bottom. No, I had Sheffield finishing bottom of the barrel. I had them finishing 18th, and I had Burnley way higher than they are right now. So that just shows you how good my takes at the beginning of the season were. But they recruited a lot better than both of those teams did. And I'm not going to try to get too stuck on Burnley, but Burnley, I thought the way that they played football would translate well to the Premier League, and it just flat has not. So they don't have the Premier League experience that Luton recruited in the likes of Ross Barkley, right? So the fact that they got that, Rob Edwards is showing that he can coach at this level, and they get stuck in and they don't stop fighting like a team I haven't seen before in a long time. So are they staying up? I think they are, barring Everton's appeal. I think they're definitely going to stay up, and Everton are in danger. Nottingham Forest, obviously, in danger. It's going to be something to keep an eye on. But Luton, they're definitely going to get that a win against Sheffield, and then we'll see what happens from there. And Steve, on that point, we were talking about that over on Flawless's show the other day, and I hope you end up making a lot of those guys eat crow. I hope Luton get 10 wins, man. That would be hilarious if that happens, bro. They look like they could do it. They look like they could do it.
Yeah,
100%. Dan, I'm going to throw you a different question because I feel like we've spoken enough about Lou, and I want to sort of move on towards this now. We're going up the table. Let's quickly get this other one up here because I want to quickly get the league table up. So this is the current league table right now. Obviously, Liverpool leading. But if we look at the top 5, right, and I know that West Ham do have the game in hand tomorrow with Manchester United, but there is a pretty big gap between West Ham and Tottenham with the top 5 right now. And I know your Tottenham agenda, I get it. So I feel like I know your response here. Do you believe that this top 5 will stay the same? Well, not exactly, but do you believe these 5 clubs will be in the top 5 come end of season? Or do you believe it will change? Just because of the gap that's there so far.
No, there is a gap there, and
between 5th and 6th.
Yeah, a huge gap. But no, I think with the way things are, Tottenham are going to finish 5th right now because I think that Aston Villa are surprising a lot of people. I know they went on a few runs where they got a couple draws, maybe a loss there, but I still think they're a better overall squad and have better, dare I say it, squad depth than Tottenham. I just think that Ollie Watkins is good, Diaby.
Bailey's the star of the show.
Bailey.
Yeah, and Bailey, of course. But, of course, Tottenham have, they've got Richarlison finally scoring goals. They have Kulusevski and of course, Son and Mads and all that. But I just think Aston Villa have a little more about them, a little more of a bite right now. I know Tottenham had, things going for them the beginning of the season, but I just think that they've kind of stagnated a bit, and maybe Charlie would agree with that or not. There's just a stagnation point they've sort of reached. But I think the same could be said for Villa too. I mean, it's really unpredictable when you get down there, Connor. But you look at that gap, it looks like West Ham are truly out of it.
Yeah, I think there's got to be major fall down from Tottenham if they're going to do that.
Which I would see happen, but in my mind and heart, my mind doesn't think it's going to, but my heart wants it to. Of course, I'd love the Hammers to finish 5th over Spuds, but it's
Spuds.
But yeah, they're good. They're just good.
Spuds.
Idaho potatoes, Charlie. Ruffles. No, I think, and I know they were so aghast at the beginning of the year. They said Ange Ball, blah blah blah, but me, TJ, and Connor called this on the American Idiots. Don't get too gassed up, fellas, because as far as you get taught, you start to fall down.
No, you can't speak for everyone.
Go on, Charlie, have your say. Charlie, have your say. What do you think? Yeah. Do you reckon that it will stay the same? Do you reckon Tottenham will fall down? Look at what happened today. What do you think?
So here's the thing, right? I watched that game today, and to be totally honest, first and foremost, I just want to put kind of a stat out there. Tottenham at Goodison Park, we haven't lost there for 10 years. But here's the thing. The last 5 today now have all been draws. And 3 of them we've always conceded in the last goddamn minute. Always at Goodison Park. Against Brentford in the week, we can hold on. Against these other teams, whoever it is, over the years, Man City at home, we can hold on to leads. Whenever we go to Goodison Park, we cannot hold on to a lead for shit. And I can't tell you what it is. It's always Goodison Park. I know Arsenal, until this season, they had kind of some problems there as well. But for whatever reason, we just can't do it. And we've had different players, different managers, whatever it is. Goodison Park, I remember there was the Michael Keane goal last year. The one before that, I think, was the Cenk Tosin one in the last final days of Poch. So this kind of thing has been happening. But today, I think the main issue for me was the midfield. Even when we went ahead twice, which, to be fair, I have to give credit to Richarlison. I'm not his biggest fan, but I will give him credit for the form that he's on. Whether it's a purple patch or not, we'll have to wait and see.
What a finish.
Yeah, I mean, the second goal. I mean, even the
second goal was at.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, even the first one's underrated because he has to take that first time and he hits it in the roof of the net. So, but I think what happened was we had zero control of the midfield. And I think from every single corner that came in, they looked like they were going to score, Everton, and we looked like we were going to concede. Every single corner just whipped in, back post, whatever. That's how they got their first goal. And obviously,
Charlie,
go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that opposing teams now know that if they can get to Vicario and kind of jostle him on those corners, they definitely have more of a chance to concede? Because I think you guys are leaking goals like you didn't at the beginning of the season. Do you think like getting in, kind of getting in behind and rattling Vicario is starting to cause you some grief?
I mean, Vicario's been outstanding this season. I mean, I don't think it's entirely down to that. I think you have to question the marking as well. We seem to do this thing where we're always doing zonal marking. We never really do man for man. So I think you have to look at the marking as well. I think there is a question with Vicario for the first goal today, very similar to the Man City one, which I thought that was a foul. That's another debate. But today it definitely wasn't a foul. And I think, like you said, you're right, a bit suspect there. But I think you have to look at the big picture as well. And I think the market, like look at the equaliser today. I love Romero. I love him. I know I've heard you say that he's this, he's that, but whatever it is, I like Romero. But today, the way he flicks that ball on, it's like an assist that the Everton player would do. He flicks it on, and it goes back to, I think it was Braithwaite to equalise. And I'm just thinking, like, you've got to head that obviously in the opposite direction, and he's done like a flick on, like you would expect from their own player. So,
hey, Charlie, let me ask you. Sorry to interrupt you. What do you Spurs fans really see in Romero? I mean, he's made mistakes.
Romero's class.
He's a good.
He's class.
Is he really
class? Yeah, you should doubt. You don't. People that say this about Romero, they don't watch him enough. They haven't watched him when he was at Atalanta.
Because he's not on the field. It's hard to watch him when he's suspended.
No. I'm going back before when he was.
I'll back you up, Charlie, but I'll let you fight this battle for a minute.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Nobody has watched Romero at Atalanta. Romero
I did.
at Atalanta.
No, I watched. I watched, bro. I've got a Serie A game on. I've got the Girona game on.
Steve's a madman. Steve's a madman for the football.
Anyway, Romero at Atalanta.
I liked him a lot.
Class in that season.
Right.
He went to Anfield, for example. Just one example. He went to Anfield in the UCL group stage, kept out all of them, 2-0 win, and Serie A Defender of the Year. Not even to mention that.
What?
And look at.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Serie A Defender of the Year in 2021 season. Compared to, look at who was in the league that season: Giorgio Chiellini, Leandro Bonucci, all of these players in the Serie A, Skriniar, Bastoni, all of these guys were in the Serie A that season, and he managed to win Player of the Season ahead of them. So I think for me, and then that's not even to mention the World Cup, that he was starting every game at the World Cup all the way to the final.
But is he not inconsistent, Charlie? Is he really that consistent?
I don't think inconsistent is the right word. I think people say that he's rash and stuff, but I think it's a bit of a myth, because go and look at people always bring back the Chelsea game, which was a complete chaotic mess. But anyway, that for me, that's not a red card, and I'll tell you why. Because Enzo has planted his foot where Romero is already going for the ball.
Right.
He's going to
Right.
win the ball. He's going to clear the ball. And Enzo plants his foot just on time. So Romero makes contact with him. And then obviously, on the look of it, it looks like a red card. But if you slow it down and you look back at it, it's actually not. So,
But he lets
I mean, look, like, you can laugh at me. You can laugh at me.
We can't get. Why are we digging this? Why are we digging this body up?
TJ,
Why are we
listen,
digging this body up?
listen, Dow. I'm definitely going to run.
Yeah, lots of time.
I'll run a Spurs news column coming up. If you want to go ahead and debate,
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, come on with us. We can debate all of us.
It's called Snowball's Chance in Hell, Charlie. But
TJ, before we move on to the main topic of today, same question: do you believe this will stay the same? Do you believe there'll be a little bit of a turning? Will one team fall off? Or do you think it's going to be the exact same? Do you reckon the top 5 is set to be these teams?
I reckon the top. Hold on, let me. Look. I mean, yeah, it is really. I mean, if you look at how inconsistent the bottom 6, every team outside of the top 5 are, it's pretty easy to see. The fact, Brighton and Hove Albion, they just conceded 4 to Luton. Manchester United can't string anything together. They won't either. I think they're going to lose this weekend. Just looking at that, you could name a ton of reasons why the top 5 will stay the way they are, and the bottom half of the top 10 will stay the way they are. There's just a complete lack of inconsistency is what binds it all together, though. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the top 5 shifts, though. And I would love to have that discussion because it's going to be a sweaty April and May.
I mean, just look at that. 3 teams on 46 points. Isn't that crazy?
Three teams on 46 points. Goal differential separating them. I'll tell you. But Manchester City, man, they're putting together. It's like Back to the Future Part 4, and you always know Marty's going to save the day, right? And it's unfortunate that I'm glad we were able to get our kicks into Manchester City while we could, but now that KDB is back, Rodri's there, Foden in that midfield, man, it is a long season for the rest of us, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I got a question for y'all. Who's finishing 10th? Because 10th is obviously the team where it's amazing sometimes, awful sometimes. I think that's us. That's us.
Chelsea.
You believe you're going to go to Steve? Do you believe that Newcastle's going to fall off now after that result today?
Yeah, we're finishing 10th, man. We're finishing 10th because you've seen the incredible stuff. Yes, because we can do incredible stuff this season in all comps, not even just the Premier League, bro. Could beat Paris Saint-Germain 4-1, but can't beat Luton Town on either occasion. We can beat Sheffield United 8-0, but then what's it called? Lose to Bournemouth away 2-0 when they were struggling, and that kickstarted their form.
Yep.
We can do stuff like go away to Man City with 6 fullbacks, away to Man United with 6 fullbacks in the Carabao Cup and beat them 3-0, and then get destroyed by Everton 4-1. I don't think they've won a game by 3 goals the entire season besides that one. We can do all this crazy stuff. With Chelsea, it's like there's a lack of highs, but they get these results like the 1-0 win against Fulham and Palace and all that crap. But we have emphatic wins, emphatic losses. That's why we're a 10th place team, because there's there's nothing. Nobody expects us to beat Villa 3-1.
Steve, I have a question.
Don't care.
You look at the.
Not to the comment. To the comment.
I have a question, Steve. So if you look at how Newcastle are doing this season, how does this and you guys can't spend any money because of FFP, so you couldn't reinforce. How does this feel compared to obviously the terrible days of Mike Ashley and stuff? What are the similarities there?
Charlie, are you taking my job, Charlie? Do you want to take this one? I'm joking.
Yeah, let's go.
Go on, Steve. Go on.
The similarities is that we have better play. The difference is that we have better players. The similarities is that we're still Newcastle. We're still bottle jobs. We're the Northeast Spurs with less trophies, bro.
Do you think new manager's the solution, Steve? New manager?
Huh?
Do you think a new manager's the solution?
Yeah, I'm not against it whatsoever. I'm really not.
Are you still Jose in?
Would you take Jose?
Yeah, I would take Jose, and I want Carvajal. Sell Trippier, bring in Carvajal. 100%.
Carvajal. Wow, fair play.
Danny Carvajal. Wow.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
You
I
don't think
don't
he's
know.
past it right now? You don't think he's a bit past it?
No,
right?
he's not past it.
Steve,
Hell
would
no.
you not take for right back? Would you not take someone like Jeremy Frimpong?
Of course I would. Yes. But I'm saying in terms of because clearly Trippier was very important for us, and today he scored a fantastic goal, a volley, a great Bruno cross. But in terms of just the importance that Trippier has, you need that veteran, consistent performer. That's what Trippier is. And then if you look at Trippier, that's what Carvajal is times 10. That's what Carvajal is times 10 for club and country. He's won stuff with Spain, won everything with Real Madrid. Why hasn't Real Madrid bought in a right back since Carvajal's been there? It's almost like they know he's a staple of that team, and he has been for a decade. So, yeah, and he's only got 1 year left on his contract. Offer him something. I didn't think we'd get Trippier. I didn't think we'd get Trippier or bottom of the league. So maybe
he was the first signing of the new era, wasn't he?
Very first. But I do think his time has come. So it is
Okay.
what it is, man. But
All right.
yeah, just change in management. I'm not opposed to it. I'm really not, because the decision making sometimes of this guy and the in-game management. Like, there's no reason, and I said to you guys backstage, there's just no reason why Livramento shouldn't be playing.
Yeah,
There's no
Good
reason.
player, yeah. Good
Yeah,
player.
he's a good
It
player.
would be like Ben, and I said it. It would be like if Ben Davies was playing at Spurs over Udogie, because it's just nonsense. It's just stupid. It does not make sense. Put your best team. Put your best team on the pitch. Put your best players in each position. Make your life simple.
Do you guys
Even when
agree- Do you guys agree with this question from Cube? Are Forest or Palace going to be in a relegation battle at the end of the season?
100%.
For us, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Palace are a disaster at the moment.
yeah.
they're not good. They're not. I
Their
think
fans were screaming at Anderson today. They got destroyed by Brighton 4-1. Palace have 2 wins in 16, 8
oh
losses.
my god, that is so bad.
That's relegate, and Olise is a bit injury prone. So when he goes down, it's just on Eze to make stuff.
I got the solution for Palace, Steve-O. Eddie Nketiah.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
We did it. We did it, people. We did it.
We've had a breakthrough now. We've had a breakthrough.
over.
no.
I'm going to throw this one. I'm going to throw this one out. If you do have questions, put them in the chat. We'll try and answer them at the end of the stream. I just want to get through because this is the main topic now, halfway through the show. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't smashed a like, please do. If you haven't subscribed to me or any of these guys, their links are in the description. And of course, subscribe to my channel as well. We're on the road to 500.
Yes.
I'll bring this to Dow first.
Oh, jeez.
It's the main question. Arsenal fan.
All right.
Will Arsenal v Liverpool, if we win the game this weekend, define the EPL season, and will we be properly in a title race if we beat Liverpool on the week?
If we beat Liverpool, I'm confident we will beat Liverpool 2-1. Declan Rice, 89th minute. Okay. I've been saying it for a week, right, TJ? Right?
You have been. Correct.
2-1 Arsenal, Declan Rice at the end. Okay. So, yes, we're going to beat Liverpool. And your second question was what, Connor? I'm sorry. There's like 3 of them in there.
If we win it, do you believe this will define the season? Do you believe we can be in a title race? Because I believe if we lose it, we're out of it. Do you believe we will be in the proper title race if we do beat Liverpool? Because it's a statement. It's a big statement.
Yeah, it's a huge statement. But looking at all the teams on 46 points, I think we're yes, because then we're at 49. We'll only be 2 points behind them. I mean, I know this is a game Liverpool essentially could drop, right? I mean, we know they're not gonna, but this could be their free hit, essentially. We know that's not going to happen. But if we get 3 points, we'll be 2 points, because you got to think that City's going to win. You've got to predict that Villa's going to win. You got to predict that Tottenham will draw. You got to predict that West Ham will win. You got to predict that Brighton will win, and you got to predict that Man United will lose, because any of those teams there's so much movement, right? There's just so much movement from
Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
You know, yeah, exactly. And so if we do win, I would say yes, we're in a title race, but I still think it's City's and Liverpool's to throw away.
Yeah, no, 100%. TJ, we sort of got your thoughts on it. I think you believe earlier on another stream. I think you believe that if we win it, we're in it.
I said that if we lose, we're out. I never said if we win, we're in. I think that we have to win. Talk to me in March and then we can have this discussion, because we have games that we're definitely going to drop points in coming up, namely Man City. We could possibly drop points at Tottenham, as much as I hate to say it, and we're not very good at Old Trafford. It doesn't matter how shit United are. Yeah, and we're going to beat Newcastle 100%. Yeah, we're definitely going to beat Newcastle. But the rest of them are games that we should definitely get 3 points on. But Connor, that's where Arsenal title hopes go to die.
Right.
Is like
Yeah.
Brighton away is where they go to die. Burnley away is where they go to die.
Yeah.
Like Molineux. We still have to go to Molineux and pull out 3 points. That historically has been where our title hopes go to die. So I'm anticipating dropping points at the Etihad. I'm anticipating dropping points at Tottenham, because winning at Tottenham, as much as we should be winning there, is a challenge for us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I'm not counting our chickens, but what I will say is if we do lose this, it immediately turns into a top 4 race. It immediately turns into, okay, we need to sustain, get results where we can. And unfortunately, it's going to be one of those, okay, let's play for third, let's play for second, and try to get into the higher pots in the Champions League. That's unfortunate. And you also have to consider, again, our squad is still, I hate to say it, and people say it, our squad is thin. We did not fix the bench.
In the words of
and
your
we
own
still
manager.
and we still have to worry about Champions League.
And it's our own fault,
So,
PJ. It's our own fault. I'm not going to.
yeah, no, I mean, no, it's the fault of the manager. It's the fault of Edu. It's the fault of the fact that we spent 65 million on a certain German center midfielder when we could have gone out and gotten James Madison and somebody else.
Wonder that could be. Yeah.
So yeah, but we don't need to get into all that. But that's my answer. Yeah, if we win, it's not over. If we lose, it absolutely is.
What's your scoreline, TJ? I know you've said it on multiple channels. Say it again on here. What's your scoreline?
Desmond 2-2.
Desmond 2-2. Okay, fair enough. Charlie, I'm going to ask you more of the same question, but I have another question on. So, well, one, do you believe Arsenal will win tomorrow? And follow-up question, but will City just still run away with it like they normally do? Will they just run away with this league and just go ahead and win it when Haaland's properly back into the team? Because they do have the 2 games still to play above everyone else. So, what do you think to that? So, the first thing about Arsenal, will they win? Will they lose? And will City still just go ahead and win it anyway?
So to answer the first question, I think it will be an interesting game tomorrow. I think if you go to the FA Cup game, I think, you guys, you missed a load of chances in the first half. And then kind of you got a little bit sucker punched. I'm not saying Liverpool were awful in the second half, but you guys did get a little bit sucker punched considering the chances in the first half. I think if you look at Liverpool this season, only lost 1 game, which was against us, which, if we're being completely honest, that should never have happened. Like, I'll say it openly as a Tottenham fan that Liverpool should not have lost to us with the VAR stuff. So pretty much that.
Charlie.
Thank you for saying that. Charlie.
I'll say that. I for those that know me in the chat, like C Cubed and like Elias, they know I like to keep things real and stuff. And I'll say it. Yeah. I'll try and say it as it is as much as possible. We shouldn't have beaten Liverpool, and if it wasn't for that, they would be still unbeaten this season. So, and if you go all the way back into last season, they hadn't lost for a while towards the end. So they've kind of been, even before the signings and like in the summer and stuff, they kind of been on this momentum for quite a while. And I think, to be honest, I think you guys are going to lose tomorrow. I think Liverpool are going to win 2-0, and I think they're going to just, I think they're going to be controlled. I don't think, if you look at the way Arsenal's forwards have been playing, I saw a bit of the Forest game. I know you got 2 goals, but you're kind of, when you go forward, this is kind of what I complain with about Tottenham as well. You guys kind of just try and walk it into the net. You're not shooting enough. And that's what exactly the same with Spurs. We just, too much passing. We're not actually we're not pulling the trigger. And I think because of that, up against the likes of Van Dijk, Konate, kind of these guys, proper players, I think they're going to, I'm not saying you're not going to have any chances, but I think they're going to be, I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but I think they'll be relatively comfortable, if that makes sense. I don't really know the word.
No, but
sorry.
No.
Yeah, no. So I think Liverpool are going to win 2-0 tomorrow. I think it will be the same scoreline as the FA Cup game. Probably a similar outcome. I think it will probably be 0-0 for a long time, and then they'll probably nick 2 in the second half, I think. But for your second question, Connor, about Man City, Yeah, that's
So
the only.
they're lucky.
Yeah.
They're there.
Man City are gonna. I hate to spoil. I hate to give you everyone a spoiler for the season.
Free betting advice.
Yeah, Man City are going to run away with it again. It's whether we like it or not. It's what always happens, and there's nothing to suggest that's going to change as long as Pep's in charge. Yeah. So I think that what we'll see kind of in February, March, mostly April, March time, May obviously. I think Man City will have their annual 15-game winning run, and I think that will be that. I think, if I'm being honest, and even when they were losing, like when we got a draw at their ground during that spell, I even said that like it's very similar to last season. Like they were dropping points to the likes of Everton and Brentford at home. So and that kind of happened again this year. So I think. Yeah, Man City are going to run away with it, but I think Liverpool, I think up until maybe late Aprilish, I think they'll be there and thereabouts. But I think come the final table, the final standings, I think what you'll see Man City probably win it by about 5 points or something like that. I think it will kind of be. It won't go down to the wire like it has in previous years with Liverpool.
Okay.
And stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. Like. Obviously, just a prediction and stuff.
Yeah, listen, my favourite, as much as Liverpool are on form, my favourite is City, just because of the history and what they've done, and we know that they can go on ridiculous runs as well. And Steve, I want to get your opinion on it. You know, Newcastle fan as well, and I actually haven't heard your opinion. What is your prediction for tomorrow? And do you believe if Arsenal win, will they be a member of the title race to still go, or do you believe it's just Liverpool and City to be the favourites?
Yeah, because I just don't view you guys like that on that level quite yet. You have a good squad. I think Liverpool have a better squad, and I think Man City have the best. I think that's the difference, really. There's a difference in manager. There's a difference in players getting over the line. There's a difference in mentality. There's a difference in European experience. There's a difference in a lot of things. Taking cup competition seriously. There's a clear difference to me. I saw it with the FA Cup game coming up on about a month ago. They didn't even have their strongest team, but still put out a good team. It still did, and you have to look at the game in full context. Obviously, it's like you guys had a lot of chances that you missed. That's cool doing that against Crystal Palace. And that's good. You should be. And fair play. You got to do what you got to do. Business is business, as a man once said. But it's a different ball game stratosphere completely to play in Liverpool when they are on this, just a complete rampage. So, I think it will be comfortable. Charlie, I think you're just trying to be polite, bro. I get it, because we have to. You know what? Here's the thing, bro. We think things sometimes and then say it, and then you're like, maybe I didn't mean it. I think you meant that, because that is the thought that I had in my head. I think it should be comfortable, an arm's length kind of thing. One of those fights in boxing or UFC where the guy just cannot reach. He's trying, but he can't land. But that's
been AJ for the last few times.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Exactly. One of those where it's like we don't just think these things out of nowhere, because there is a clear gap between the two sides. And again, you can squeak out the wins versus Forest, and you can destroy Palace even though you don't play well, and that is impressive. But it's just a different ball game with Liverpool. It is a different ballgame. They actually have a really good record at the Emirates under Klopp. In all comps, they've won what? Last year you guys beat them when you were doing very well, so fair play on that. Before that, I think it was a win. There were a few times in the cup that you played, in the Carabao Cup semifinal a few years ago. I think they beat you at the Emirates.
2-0,
Yeah.
The Cup, 0-0 in the first leg, 2-0.
And they have Salah back. They have Bradley. That's a good headache to have as well, by the way. That's some very good right back depth.
Can I just say as well, sorry, Steve. I'll just kind of add to what you were saying, kind of about Arsenal in the Forest game and stuff. This might sound harsh, and like probably
the truth.
On here,
yeah.
You're probably gonna cook me just because I'm a Spurs fan, whatever. But the way I view Arsenal this season, and this is not just me saying this because I'm a Spurs fan. It feels like to me that all of your wins are either like 2-1 or 1-0. Like you're kind of like how do I say this? You're kind of like squeezing them out all the time. Like I can only remember a couple of convincing wins, like against Palace.
Lons, PSV, Bournemouth away, Palace,
Sheffield.
Forest.
Conference league level.
No, not Forest. Sorry.
I mean that's a whole nother conversation itself.
Right.
But yeah, no, I feel like with you guys, you've been getting by a lot. And I was saying earlier in the season, you're getting lucky, you're winging it. And then the results came, like against West Ham, like against Fulham. And I have to say, and I'm not just saying this, if you're looking at it from a neutral point of view, I think they were coming. I think those kind of results were coming for a long time, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
Go on, TJ.
No. I mean, I think that's by design. Unfortunately, like the way that Arteta's setting this team up is not gonna get a bunch of goals. Like we were playing a lot of free flowing football last season, whereas this season we're not. We're really not breaking lines. Our midfield is quiet. Our midfield really is just, pass it around and try to find the pass into the goal, right? Whereas last season we were banging goals from everywhere around the pitch. Now, you're seeing us really utilize inverted midfielders, whereas last season we were, Zinchenko was going inverted from the left, but you were always seeing that overlap from the right. This season we're not. This season we don't have those options on the outside whatsoever, and I really think it's because Arteta is trying to play a more conservative game on the defensive side of the ball, where it is concerning for me as an Arsenal fan, and it's obviously a cure for insomnia most weekends. But I think a lot of it is by design, just because one or 2 goal wins is perfectly fine. 3 points, it's 3 points if you win 5-0. It's 3 points if you win 1-0, right? And I think Arteta is really, really moving forward with that mentality. And it's unfortunate because it's awful to watch, but I mean, hey, we're not in it, but we're in it, right? So we'll see. I mean, I'm still Arteta out, by the way. I'm still Arteta out. I really don't think he's going to be the guy to get us to the next level, but it's by design for sure.
I'm going to throw this. Go on, Steve. Go on, Steve.
I was going to say real quick. Why can't that design, basically, right? It's a design he's creating, the way you play, formation, pattern, all that. Why isn't that being utilized in the cup games when you could actually justify seeking out results? Because in cup games, it's strictly about survive and advance. That's the thing. If I was an Arsenal fan, and you guys have all spoken about it, I'm sure you've noticed it, Charlie, it's irritating as fuck to not be 100%. Able to get to more than one final. Or sorry, because 2.
Yeah.
We're in 2. We're in the Champions League and the Prem. If you think we're going to,
I'm talking about finals under Arteta since he's been there.
We've dropped 15 out of 16. We've dropped 15 out of 16 cup attempts.
Yeah, so that's the frustrating. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be furious at that, because it's okay to get by in cup games.
What manager, Steve, do you know would go be in 16 cup competitions and fail 15 times and still have a job? What manager? None.
No, yeah.
I mean, Steve. Yeah. It's literally exactly the same with Spurs. Like I was gutted at the Fulham game and the Man City game, just like in previous seasons when we've lost to the likes of Norwich and Sheffield and just all the other shit. It's really infuriating when you see fans or whoever it is say kind of like discard these cups in a way.
Yeah,
because
it's outrageous.
A trophy, whether it's the League Cup, whether it's the FA Cup, whatever it is, they're still cups, and they're still
Look
there.
how much it means to me.
They're still there. They're still there to be fought for, and they're still there. Like I always say this, right? Whether it's the Premier League, Champions League, any competition, what is the whole point of sport? Like any sport, football, tennis, cricket. What is the point in sport? The whole aim of any athlete in any sport is to try and finish first or win the tournament. So that's what I don't get when people say before the season starts, our aim is to finish in this place. The aim should be to try and finish first. Every team. That's what I never understand.
No, well, I have my own opinion on this.
It's basic.
And here's I was just going to say, and with Luton, like we talked about earlier, I rate him that he's still in the FA Cup. I rate
100%,
him that he's
yeah.
won the FA
That's
Cup.
the thing,
And he
because
played-
it
he
matters
played a
more
strong
to those
team.
teams as well. It matters
Here's-
more to those teams.
100%.
It matters way more. It matters way more to those teams. And here's the thing: you have to also realize, you also have to look at the quality that we're playing in those matches, because we're trying to rest our starting 11. Our starting 11, the drop off from our starting 11 is so bad. Like I would not want to play our bench against the starting 11 of Luton or any other Premier League team,
Luton would win that.
because
Or a
they
draw or
win.
something.
Yeah, no. I mean, and you saw it. Obviously, West Ham essentially play. I'll use West Ham as an example.
Yeah.
Aside from one or two players, they played their starting 11. You cannot trust. Number one, you can't trust these players from the bench, and number two, Arteta can't trust these players to play in the system. If you're outside of the immediate starting 11 or starting, let's just say 13, right? Because he rotates in 2 or 3 players, maybe.
Yeah.
They're not good enough to play this current style of football. Whereas last season, I don't think that was necessarily the case. This possession-based style of football, Cedric can't play it.
No.
Kiwior can't play it.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
like,
true.
what world are we living into where we think, or Arteta
Kiwior
inners
as
or
well,
top
maybe.
gunners or whatever you want to call them? What world are you living in where you think Cedric or Fabio Vieira would be able to play in this system?
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh,
an
and the thing
absolute
is,
joke.
Arteta, and I hear it with the players 100%. But let's say that they were able to, because I've seen Jamal Lascelles ball out versus Paris Saint-Germain in Eddie Howe's ideal style of football.
Yep.
Almiron, Murphy could go on, and Dan Burn, even though he sucks now, but whatever. Because Eddie Howe, as a coach, can implement his ideas across to the players to somehow make it work. Arteta just doesn't want to coach up, or isn't capable of it, of coaching up Cedric to play in his ideal style of football. He
I
can't
think
put Jakub Kiwior into it.
the
I'm
coaching
not saying long term. I'm not saying long term. I'm saying for a game or two when you have a suspension, injury, whatever.
Kiwior was average at Spezia. Like, I'll
Yeah,
just
and he
say
played
that.
back three as well. Played in the back three.
That's Arteta's ego, Charlie, of getting someone like that in, thinking he can coach him up when we're trying to win a title. That's
And
my
he isn't
biggest freaking complaint. We have no time to be building up players. We have to spend money on above average players. I'm sorry. We have to spend money on great players, not above average, not good, that Arteta can bring up. This is why the whole Havertz thing is jacked up. The David Raya thing is blown up in his face. The Eddie Nketiah thing is blown up in his face. Emerald Smith Rowe, don't even get me started. So the thing is that he is not the type of coach that can build up players. He needs a built team of winners to go into. Just like when he went into City with Pep, built winners already.
Mm-hmm.
And I've following this club, Charlie, for 25 years. I'm done getting good players in. I want great.
I mean, Dow, how is your club giving Nketiah number 14, which is obviously
there you go.
Oh God, that's a whole.
Number
that's a
14.
whole-
I'll tell you why.
Number
Because
14.
Dow, last point, yeah, before I move on to the last topic.
Yeah, sorry, Connor. Because Arteta will do whatever he can to win and place players in a position to make him look good. It's not about the players. It's about his ego
100%.
and how he wins the title.
Me.
Me. It's not
See,
about
look, C-Cube says it. Eddie Henry.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Eddie Henry.
Don't even get me
So,
started.
thanks,
man.
Connor.
No worries, man. Last one, guys. And listen, anyone can start. Anyone can come in. I just want it to be an interesting one because I've always been an interesting topic. Sorry, because it's his last season. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp, as we know, has announced that he's leaving Liverpool this season. Can he leave with a trophy, or even a double, or a treble, or a quad? Who wants to go first on that?
Go, Steve. Go, Steve.
FA Cup and League Cup.
You don't think he'll do the Europa League or the Premier League?
Nah, I don't for some reason. I do think if they came across a Leverkusen or someone like that, either 2 legs or a final, I'm not saying it's impossible that they win it. It seems like one of those where it's like, people will always be picking France for Euros and World Cup. Yeah. They've only got the one. and they've got they lost the final to Portugal. It seems like one of those where it's like there's an obvious favorite you could say, but it don't really work out like that sometimes. I still think they could make a final and semi. I don't know. For some reason, I think they get FA Cup and Carabao Cup. That Carabao Cup, by the way, I don't know what the record defeat is in a final, but you could.
Chelsea. I'm sorry, I watched that game. I don't think Chelsea are going to be any different than when they were in the Carabao Cup. In the league, sorry. They're not going to be in the Carabao Cup because they were shocking. So I think, honestly, I think it's an easy win for Liverpool.
The gap in managers between Poch and Klopp is probably the gap between Luton and freaking Man City, to be honest.
100%.
Even as a Spurs fan, I'll say it. Poch isn't as good as a lot of people make out.
Go on, Charlie. Oh, there'll be something we won't like.
He's just being honest.
They can hold that. They can hold that. No, I 100%.
I'm not. By the way, I'll just make it clear. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's not a good manager. I'm just saying I don't think he's as I don't think he's on the world class level. He's not on the Pep.
He's very accurate.
No way.
So you're saying that he isn't magic, you know?
Well,
he has been underwhelming since that Champions League final. I think
100%.
I mean, the dude is nicknamed the Crier, and I'm not even a banter guy, but the dude is nicknamed the Crier, and he loses a Champions League final. And I've seen him.
I know that was Steve. That was bad. Like he in the semi-final, he was like crying and stuff. But it's like,
and then you have the other
tournament before you.
The other big moments too in the FA Cup against Chelsea, like that. That was just like. Again, the management was so poor. Well, I swear to God, Son played left wing back a lot of that game.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation as to why.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to go into the Levies.
Don't. Save that for a Spurs news column.
Yeah.
TJ, I know you had a point there. What trophies do you believe you can do? A double, quad, treble?
I think
single.
I think he's gonna do. He's definitely winning the Carabao Cup. And I have an agenda behind that because I don't want to see Chelsea win anything because Arsenal aren't going to win it. Arsenal aren't going to win anything. So the last club that I want to get bantered by are those losers from West London. But I was looking for it. They not done the Europa League draw yet?
No,
they
haven't done it because you got the
qualifiers.
Yeah. Oh, they got the plans. Got it. Sorry.
They got to buy. They got to buy basically.
They got to buy. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So depending. I agree with you, Steve. They've proved that they're capable, of losing to lower level teams in the Europa League. But now that I think they have that, win one for the gaffer or win one for the gipper, as they say over here in the U.S. They have that mentality now, and they honestly haven't really lost domestically in over 35 games. I mean, I don't count Tottenham. Sorry, I don't count it. They got absolutely screwed. So it's one of those things where I believe that they're gonna win Carabao minimum with. I don't think they're gonna win the league, but I think they're favorites for the FA Cup. They're obviously favorites for Europa League. You know what? No, screw it. I'm going to say it. They're going to win the FA Cup and they're going to win the Carabao Cup. I'll say it. I really think that their form is eventually going to drop off in the league. I think that, I brought this up on American Idiots when we were talking to Hussam. I really want to see how they react to losing in the league. And hopefully it starts tomorrow because they haven't lost so long in the league. It's really going to tell whether or not they're going to stick with Man City or not. Can they maintain a winning attitude if they lose to Arsenal, which I hope they do. So that's if they can answer that question in the affirmative, then it could be a trouble. So
that'd be crazy. Your last season,
Carabao Cup, Carabao Cup minimum with the win for the Gipper. But then after that, it falls down. When it all falls down, it falls down, man. It's over. It's done. For them for a long time because they got VVD not looking like he's going to stay. Salah's eyeing all that money that the Saudis are going to be waving at him. I think the drop off is massive after he leaves because he not only
another 30 years about manager, another 30 years about a Premier League trophy.
I hope so. I literally it's one of those things where the drop off is very, very large because not only is Klopp a good technical manager, he's a great man manager, he's a great motivator. So without that guy at the helm, the drop off is long, and I can't wait for it. Come on, I can't wait for it.
I'll throw this last
These
one.
guys out of here.
I'll throw this last one to both Dow and Charlie because I don't want to repeat the question that Cube asked it earlier. Just curious to see your opinion, Dow. Who do you think is the next manager to get sacked in the Premier League right now?
Roy Hodgson, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I could say that as well, very easily.
Yep.
Do you reckon he's the favourite right now? Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. They're absolute dog shit, and his time's worn out. I mean, they go from Woy to Vieira to Woy to Vieira. I mean, I don't know, man. They're just really bad. So yeah, that's the guy that gets my vote. They've got to let him go and find somebody to bring in.
Yeah,
Mo is literally as confused as Joe Biden is. I watched his press conference today after it. Dude does not know where he is. Dude does not know what happened 10 minutes.
Back in Inter Milan in the 80s and 90s.
And his team, a team is a reflection of the manager. If your manager knows what he's doing, if he's a winner, if he's elite, you'll probably have a good chance that the team looks like that.
Yeah,
Roy Hodgson is clueless. And the team looks
He doesn't know the game anymore. He doesn't know the game anymore.
But I think
that's fine.
I think Klopp wins the Europa League and the FA Cup. I think
no Carabao.
I think he's going to put in a light squad for that, and they could probably get picked for that.
Okay, fair play. I mean,
I forget who they playing. Who they up against?
Chelsea.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think.
Treble one.
If there's one cup he lets slide, it's going to be the Carabao Cup.
Okay,
that's why I think the FA Cup he wants.
But they're at the final.
I think City. Well, I mean, I think City. Well, who do they have after? What's their calendar like? What run of games?
I don't think Klopp looks at it like that, though.
I mean,
I hear you.
Could they beat Chelsea?
The cup fixture straight after.
I'm totally beating my words, but I think realistically, if Klopp is really playing his cards somewhat close, he's looking at the Europa League, and of course the league, which I still think City are going to win, and the FA Cup. So of course he's going to prioritize those three above the Carabao Cup. That's all I'm saying, really. And in the end, I think City win the league, then Klopp wins the Europa League and the FA Cup.
Yeah.
2 out of 4.
Charlie, to end the show here, mate. Who do you think will get sacked next manager? I mean, there is a couple of names. There's not just Hodgson. I think Wilder's job's already on the line, personally. I thought De Zerbi's was a bit iffy. Now he's going there and back. He's getting decent results. I don't think he's a really great manager for Brighton if they want to move on. Poch, obviously, as well. Is yours the same? Is yours Hodgson to get sacked next? Is it Aaron Postecoglou?
No. I think the obvious one is Hodgson. I think. I mean, you look at Palace. It's like they're dropping like flies at the moment. Like it's like they're getting not only they're losing, they're getting like battered like every week at the moment. So I think Hodgson's the obvious choice for the next one. In terms of Klopp, I think he'll win the Carabao Cup against Chelsea. I think he'll win the final, and I think he'll win the Europa League. I think he'll get 2. I think he'll get Europa League. Probably he'll probably have to get past like Milan or Leverkusen or something. But I think they'll do it. Considering Klopp, he's never won the Europa League. That's like the one thing he hasn't won. So I think he'll end off with that. So yeah, I think Carabao Cup and Europa for him.
Okay.
I got a theory about this next manager sacking. I want y'all to think about how stupid this club is. And then it'll make sense. Dyche.
Dyche. Oh, for Everton.
I'm not saying he deserves it. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying anything, but they have been a poorly run club, decision making wise for a minute. Just everything, bro. The way they do fan interaction, the way they're a lost cause. I think they'll freak out and panic and sack Dyche.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go because they're idiots, but I don't think he goes before Hodgson.
I think Palace are the idiots in the other direction. I think they are too comfortable. They think that they'll be able to survive with Hodgson, and they don't have the ambition. Whereas I think Everton will just tweak.
But Steve, let me ask you real quick. Sorry, Connor. Do you
No
think
worries,
Eddie Howe is at least somewhat on the chopping block?
Yeah,
in some way,
100%.
shape, or form? Yeah, I mean, for sure. But with rumors of Mourinho, he would transform that team.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Mourinho would
Last thing, because I'm just curious, right? You know, Sheffield United just got slapped 5-0 today with a 5 at the back formation, right? So bad. So bad. They're currently on 59 goals conceded, right?
Wow.
Could they actually push that to 100? I genuinely
Yeah.
think that could be on the
Yeah.
card. I'm not
Possibly.
even joking.
It's true, yeah.
I genuinely believe, and this is no disrespect to any Sheffield United fan or the team itself.
No,
This game is like a-
disrespect them all you want. I can't-
This
Disrespect
game,
them, who cares?
this game is like a free hit now for most teams. It really is. Like even for Luton, I genuinely believe if Luton can score 4 in 2, I wouldn't be surprised if they can do it in 3. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone else think that? I think Sheffield. This is bad.
Yeah, Sheffield. Sheffield are getting all they deserve, if I'm being honest. Literally a team that's been mooching top flight football this season. Look at how Sheffield play. They don't set up to play football. All they do is literally no forward threat. Just put 6 at the back, whatever it is, and do nothing. That's what it is.
Yeah,
literally. So they're getting all they deserve, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, and didn't they came in to the Premier League and immediately sold
Sander Berge.
And
yeah,
and
Berge. Yeah, and if that doesn't spell a winning formula in the Premier League, I don't know what is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You're absolutely right, Charlie. They're
getting what they deserve, to be totally honest.
Yep.
And it looks like Chris Wilder could be getting sacked again. So anyway, that is the first episode of the Epl Debate Show. We will definitely get way more episodes of this. I want to make this a regular show every week. This and the Arsenal frenemies. Well, I actually think I'm going to make it not just me and Stefan. I'm going to give Stefan a rival every single week. I'm just going to be the referee. Because that Jez show done so well. That Jez show done so well with him and Jez that I actually probably want to give him like a contestant to go against every week. I feel like I'm using Stefan now like as a little puppet. So if anyone wants to go up against Stefan, you're more than welcome.
How old is Stefan? I think I've followed Arsenal longer than he's been alive.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Coming up, I'm trying to figure out. There's definitely going to be an Arsenal news column because I've messaged Ola from the Fight Week show, and I really wanted to get him on. We planned to get him on beforehand, but we couldn't. So this is long overdue. So I want to get him on. And we'll get a load of array of Arsenal fans on as well. Going to try run a Liverpool one this week as well. I'm collecting some Liverpool fans finally to get on this channel. And I'm also going to try to do a United one as well. Keep your eyes out for that. And yeah, guys, panel, thank you for coming on. Charlie, thanks for coming on again, man. You're always welcome back on this channel, as you know. Do your normal little outro because we know you don't do YouTube, but you're a great guy and you have great opinions, man. So shout out to you, man.
Cheers, Connor. Thank you very much. Cheers for having me on. Yeah, for those that don't know, I'm not kind of on social media really. Like I'm not a big social media guy, but you can find me, hopping around Connor's channel, maybe Tottenham away sometimes, who knows, but mostly here you can kind of catch me. So yeah, if there's any shows that anyone wants to invite me on, feel free. I'm always open to coming on and stuff, but yeah, great show again, and cheers for having me on, Connor.
No worries, mate. Dal, Oregon Gooner.
What's up, buddy?
How are you? Thank you very much for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. Your debut, and you're obviously welcome on whenever you like. Where can they find you, bro? And yeah, thanks again for coming on, man.
Find me on YouTube at Oregon Goon and IG at Infamous Dow. Every Friday with this doofus kind of next to us named TJ and We're on every Friday.
Definitely a doofus, yeah.
American idiots. Yeah, we're both doofuses, TJ. No offense. Charlie, no offense at the beginning of the show, huh? I mean, you seem like a great guy. You just got your priorities mixed up, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on. Steve-O, what can I say? Up the Luton. But other than that,
yeah.
Shout out to Chat. Shout out Eddie Howe. And shout I love Steve-O.
He's still not over it yet. He's still
pissed at me. But anyway, thanks a lot, Connor, for having me on.
No worries, bro.
Episode 1, this will be fantastic. I
really want to grow this into something big, definitely. Steve, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. You're on, same with everyone else. You're more than welcome to come whenever you want, mate. I know you talk pretty much everything football. You are practically the football encyclopedia for what I see. Thanks for coming on, man. Where can they find you? I've linked, by the way, all these channels, guys, in the description below if you want to go ahead and subscribe, so please do. And yeah, where can they find you, Steve, mate? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, you can find me on what's it called? Strasbourg Steve on YouTube. I forget what I got penciled in tomorrow for terms of watch along, but there's something going on.
Also Liverpool.
I might do that with you guys or something, but no,
Yeah.
there's always something going on around Europe, so I'll probably do something tomorrow. That's mainly where I do a lot of my stuff. So big up for having me, bro. Thank you. And great meeting you, Charlie and TJ and
I got a
Oregon.
quick question, Connor, for Steve-O. Who won the Coppa Italia? The
Inter.
final? Did the final happen already?
No. It's semifinal. It's Juve, Lazio, and it's Fiorentina and not Bologna because they beat him in the quarters. God damn it.
Bologna.
Yes, sorry, Bologna won that. My bad.
Bologna, yeah.
Diogo Malta, what a good manager.
Bologna.
Forget who they playing in the semi, but yeah, no, Coppa Italia.
I appreciate it, Steve, mate. You've actually got a good choice of games tomorrow. You've got Lyon, Marseille. You've got Real Madrid via Atletico.
Inter Lyon.
And you've got Inter via
Madrid derby.
So yeah, so you got a good choice of games.
That Madrid derby is gonna be phenomenal.
So definitely go ahead and tune into Strasbourg Steve. Go ahead and subscribe.
Yes.
And TJ Warren, it's one of them things, man. It's one of those things.
Here we go. Here we go.
Nah, man, it's my brother, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Second time on, again, you're more than
Yes,
welcome.
sir.
Whenever you want to, sorry. And shout your stuff out, man, because I'm the bigger channel, of course. Quote.
He's such a big channel, and so now I got to come on here and I gotta peddle my wares, if you will. I'll be on. Thanks for having me on, Connor. Obviously, I'll come on anytime I can. I will make it a priority to come on this channel. It's always fun. It's always a good time hanging out with you and Dal. I will be on Staffy TV tonight.
Oh God.
Pray for me. I'm previewing the Liverpool game with Usam, Igal, and Mike Doss.
God, that's practically 3 previews today. You bet you can't wait for this game to be over.
Bro.
You're saying, TJ, because you're going to get called a fraud. So
Big up, Jacob.
I can't wait.
Big up, Jacob. I've got to get you.
No. I gotta figure out. Yeah, get Jacob on here. And it'll be hilarious. So I'll be on Staffy TV tonight. What time is that? Midnight UK. So that'll be insane.
You sound so
enthusiastic
for that one.
No, that'll be a test of my anger management, I think. And then you can catch me tomorrow night on Sarcasm City. We're doing all the podcasts. We're doing a crossover. So you can catch me over on Sarcasm City tomorrow night, 11:30 p.m. I think is when we decided we're going to do that. So, those are the 2 next shows, and then just subscribe to TJ Warren TV, people. We have a good time. Thank you for having me, Connor.
No worries, man. And of course, all their channels are in the description. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. It's been episode 1 of the Epl Debate Show. Like I said, we're going to make it a weekly thing. Maybe every Saturday if we can. Then again with the football, but we'll try and see. We'll try and make it happen. Thanks, guys. TJ, Charlie, Steve, and Dal for coming on. Everyone in the chat as well. Really appreciate it. We had about 15 consistently. So big up to everyone who's been in here tonight. Like the stream if you're watching on playback. If you haven't done it now, why haven't you? And also subscribe. We're on the road to 500. I believe we're now 45 subscribers away. We're not that far. So let's get there. And keep your eye out for some more streams coming up. Thank you guys very much for watching. And we'll see you for the next stream. Cheers, guys. Take care. We'll see you later.